Hey everyone, so today I wanted to talk to you about something a little bit different, and you've probably seen it posted on my Instagram a few times, but I recently got diagnosed with a condition called endometriosis, and as long and as scary as that word is, I wanted to just clarify a few things and just talk about it basically. So what is endometriosis? Endometriosis is the result of endometrial tissue being outside of the uterus, causing like pain and discomfort, especially associated with like menstruation, like your cycle basically. So yeah, the symptoms include like pain, bloating in like your lower tummy, pain that actually stops you from doing activities. For me, say if I am in that part of my cycle, if I want to go running, it feels like a stitch almost, like here it feels as if something's like pulling. It is agony and you just have to stop basically straight away. There's like pain in sex, sickness, and unfortunately the more serious fertility problems. So even the NHS, they actually point out the massive impact that this condition has on your life, more to do with the mental state, and a lot of people actually become depressed because of it. That's all because of the hormonal impacts that it's having, and obviously when you get the news it's not great knowing you've got like a ticking fertility clock basically. So this little video is to raise awareness and maybe help those that actually are going through it. Know that you are not alone, and maybe even help you the slightest little bit. So my advice, if you do think that you may have endometriosis after listening to me gabble on, start writing down your symptoms, like the dates, what the symptoms are, maybe how long they last, if it's like a couple of days or maybe like half hour. It all matters, because then you can start to recognise a pattern, whether this pattern actually fits in with your cycle, and then once you've got kind of almost like a routine, then take it to the doctors and they'll be able to maybe follow through with the tests that I'm going to mention later. Because symptoms actually vary a lot between people, that's what makes it so difficult to actually diagnose. So it's really important for you to write all these things down so they can maybe make links and things like that. This will then take you through to some tests, such as ultrasounds and laparoscopies. That sounds really scary, but they're not scary at all. It's basically like a tiny tube to see whether there's any patches of endometrial tissue, and it doesn't hurt, you know. Obviously it sounds very invasive, but it's probably nothing more than a smear. So obviously if symptoms vary, then treatments vary a lot. It is down to your symptoms that you would treat them. For me, before you've even gone to the doctors, pain, paracetamol. And it sounds very simple and people massively underrate paracetamol, but that is its use. It's there for pain. You can take up to a gram, so like 500 milligrams every 4 to 6 hours, and that really helps. Water bottles are lifesavers, and ibuprofen is an anti-inflammatory, so if you are getting that massive uncomfortable bloating, maybe try ibuprofen as well. You can have paracetamol and ibuprofen together. I'm a pharmacologist, it's okay. So the next stage of treatment is actually they'll try different hormones and contraceptive pills this is to, yeah, modify and change your cycle, because endometriosis is actually because of ovulation, like, so you have to stop the ovulation to then try and stop endometriosis. So make sure this is actually definitely what you want, because say if you want to try for a child, then this isn't the thing for you. I just want to point out as well, as most of us girls already know, the pills can completely mess us up. I've been through about 5 different pills now, and none of them sorry, none of them worked for me. My first ever one, and I went on when I was younger, it just made me eat absolutely everything. Then a different one made me actually become an absolute knob. Like, I just was angry like all the time. And then the third one I tried actually gave me drop face, it's called. So I'd just be sitting somewhere and my face would like go numb here, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And then I go to the doctors and I'm like, this is happening. He was like, oh yeah, that pill has a risk of stroke. Okay then. I was like, yeah, not that one. And then the final one that I tried, actually, yeah, I've had a lot. Then the next one I tried actually gave me some hormonal imbalances, so I had I don't know how to put it. They thought it was a tumour, but it wasn't. It was just a cervical kind of growth. Yeah, which was a very horrible experience when the nurse is like, yeah, you've got a growth. Automatically you think cancer, like that's just the thing you think. So she's a knob as well. She was probably on the pill that I was on before. And then the last one I was on actually made me very sad. And I wasn't me. I didn't feel myself at all. So you've got to be really careful with these. Make sure that you have someone there to actually tell you, yo, you're being a bit weird, like this isn't you. Make sure you've got friends and family around you throughout this whole time, because it is a really difficult time. So there's also, if your endometriosis is that bad, if it's that severe, you can have surgery to remove patches of the endometrial tissue, or even an operation to remove your whole womb. But obviously these are options that you should talk to your GP about and go through it with them. So each option should definitely be thought through very carefully, and you're not alone. There's so many amazing girls out there that I've actually met through talking about all this on Instagram, and even little Facebook groups, and even friends that suffer from similar diseases, such as, like, well, polycystic ovary disease has a massive impact on your life as well. So it's, you know, you can chat about all your hormonal messes that will happen. Just wanted to say as well, if anyone wants to talk, you can send me a message or even drop me a comment on here, or yeah, my Instagram is @_Hannah's Health. I talk about it a little bit on there, but not loads. At the end of the day, I don't want to make it a priority in my life. I just want to continue with life and see what happens, basically. But remember that we're all here for each other. After my treatments that I was given weren't as successful as I liked, they were, like I say, I was extremely sad on the last one that they provided for me. I decided to go on Instagram, discuss it a little bit, and explain why I'd stopped my medication. And then some people actually messaged me about some alternatives. So yeah, endometriosis can be seen as an inflammatory disease. obviously it's endometrial tissue outside of the uterus, but the inflammation there is what causes like the pain and discomfort. So I actually ordered some tablets, just that people kind of have every day even. I got them from VITS. It's a new company. I haven't really heard of them much before. So these ones here, these are 1,000 milligram omega-3, which contain EPA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, which is docosahexaenoic acid. I should know these. Oh my god, I'm failing. With added vitamin E. So these are like to maintain your normal blood cholesterol and your heart function. So these are 100% natural. They're free from fillers and additives, and they're non-GMO. So you take one a day, and this promotes the release of highly anti-inflammatory compounds that have an action on pain and clotting. So yeah, I'm going to be trying out one of these. There's 180 in here, and they contain like fish oil, antioxidants, alpha tocopherol acetate too. And then secondly, I bought some zinc. So these are 15 milligram zinc tablets that you take once a day. These are vegan. They maintain hair, skin and nails, vision and cognitive function. But also zinc reduces inflammation and pain, as well as boosting your immune system and renewing tissues. That's what my own research. So I want to try a bit of those as well. Finally, actually, the last thing that I got told about was turmeric. Now I've actually done a lot of research on this before, but this was when I did a lit review for cancer. Wanted to see the role of turmeric on cancer, as it's been, you know, it's used in multiple countries throughout their whole diet and lifestyle, such as India, but it's also been linked to reducing inflammation from its active ingredient, which is curcumin, and it's been used for years in Ayurvedic medicine. So these little tablets, they were just kind of what I found from my little research that I did. Obviously there's probably a lot more products out there that can reduce inflammation, even probably some holistic treatments. I know a lot of people that actually do a lot of yoga and meditation and things like that, positive energy vibes for healing. And yeah, for some people it does work. So I'm going to try this one for now and see what happens. Sorry guys if you're not interested in the slightest, but you know, some people may be very deeply affected by endometriosis that you don't even know, and it's not a very well known disorder. So when maybe someone tells you about it, you actually know that they're going through a tough time, instead of just passing it off like, oh, normal period pain, God, women always moan. Yeah, I just wanted to say I hope this may help make you feel like you're not alone, and I'm always here if you need a little bit of positivity in your life. I love chatting to new people, so just drop me a message. If you want to see all about the rest of my fitness journey, I'm going to be competing this season, as in like May, so ages away, in bodybuilding. And finally, so yeah, follow my Instagram, follow me on here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Bye.